Shalom. Once again, all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Mekah Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to your brothers, expression sword in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. This is Brother Aria from GMS Guyana. With another quick lesson. Right, so on the screen, this is a video done by a prepper. I never know the guy name, but it says breaking news: 48 hours change everything. World War III warning. Right, the last 48 hours change everything. World War III warning. Right, and this is what the prophets and the true teachers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, was always on the streets, preaching and teaching about, World War III, right? And as these prophecies, fall into place, the prophets tell it before it happened, right? And, there's the word prophecy, which means the word to tell before. And who could tell before it happened? The prophets. Now, a lot of people could talk about World War III now because they're seeing it happening, or they're seeing the beginning stages, and where this war between Iran and America and Israel could lead to. Right? They're seeing it now. But before then, guess what? The prophets been prophesying about these things. Right? Precept that come to mind is Jeremiah 28:7, right, which says, the prophet has been before me and before thee, both prophesy against many countries and kingdoms, of war, of pestilence, and of evil, right? And likewise in these latter days, the prophets been speaking about these things, and now we are the point where these things coming to pass. These things coming to pass, and it is evident now. So everybody could speak about it now, but the prophet been speaking about it before it even happened, right? Because these things were secrets that was revealed to them from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They did not just see America and Iran go to war for know that World War III would take place in the Middle East. Through the scriptures, through the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, through the Rekah Kadash, through the apostles and elders, we see this long before, right? Now the precept that come to mind is Amos 3:7. Surely Yahweh power will do nothing but to reveal His secrets unto His servants, the prophets. His servants, the prophets, who are Israelites too, who are the true Israelites. Right? The scripture says He showed His words unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgment unto Israel. As for the other nations, they have not known Him. So the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who come from the nation of Israel, the true Israelites, who are you blacks, Latinos, and natives, and confusion of faces are scattered through the four corners of the earth. So the prophets been teaching, been warning about these times, and we even continue to warn you and tell you that it is only going to get worse. It is only going to get worse, right? And in this video, he's going into fuel shortage, famine, lack of this, lack of that, and this is what the elites want, right? This is a change of system. This is them bringing in the New World Order that is written on the back of the dollar bill, Nurus Ordum Secretum, right? Which is Latin, which is the phrase would be the New World Order. And the elites of the nation of Edom, they're about to push through this thing. They're about to do this. And as the war and thing ramp up throughout the four corners of the earth, different shortage, different lack of this, lack of that, you know, they can come in with a solution which can be what this one world government, whereby, you know, you will be receiving a microchip, which is the MOTB, the mark of the beast. So the beast system, you know, is rolling out right now as we speak, and it started by disrupting supply chains and disrupting what people would say is normal to bring in something else. You know, we see in the war, you know, there's a lot of videos circulating where they targeted gas treatment plant and oil treatment plant throughout the Middle East. Even in Russia, Ukraine bombed Russia oil plant. In Texas, an oil plant went up in flames too. So they're creating the chaos to come with the solution. So I'm just gonna play a little of this video and speak on it a bit. You know, hey, our praises stay how Bashim Yoshai Bahashim Rakahakudash. You know, for opening our eyes so that we could see this and filter everything that is going on through the four corners of the earth right now. You know, through these scriptures, right? Through these scriptures, because it has all been prophesied before. And you people that still going to these whorehouses and churches, hey, where's it your leaders telling you? They ain't saying nothing. Right, so we're just gonna play a little bit of this, you know, and speak on it a little, right? And you know, just listen to the things that this fellow going into, right? And you're gonna understand this you know, can lead to a bad time throughout the four corners of the earth. The scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. Hey, Jacob's trouble, we in Jacob's trouble, and it's only about to get worse. Right, so listen in.
News for you guys here. The conflict around Iran and Israel and the United States of America just escalated. Within the last 48 hours, we have seen other countries drawn into this war. We have seen Pakistan and other leaders say that this is the beginning stages of World War III, and it's now.
Once other countries keep joining into the war, it is the beginning stages of World War III. This is what it means by world war, whereby countries, you know, fighting against one another, numerous countries. And the scripture talk about this in Second Esdras. Men shall be invading one another, not regarding the kings or princes, you know, famine in the streets, you know, because of the lack of bread, lack of food, lack of resources.
Now becoming evident to every major player out there in the geopolitical spectrum that this is the ground stage of a major international conflict. Inside of Syria, we have seen radical groups go in and attack predominantly Christian neighborhoods and businesses, ripping people out of their houses, hitting them with bats, chasing them down in vehicles. It is an absolute madhouse at what is happening there. On March 27th, just a couple of days ago, one day after Trump extended the pause of strikes against the infrastructure of Iran for quotes of diplomacy, Israel started hitting major targets, and that continued into this very morning. We have seen steel.
Remember, the scripture says in Revelation 12:12, woe unto them that dwell upon the earth, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knew it, that he had but a short time. So he saw now that his time is short to set up his enterprise, right? And when's the best time to do it? When there's chaos, right? His motto is order out of chaos. You know, order up chaos. He create the chaos and then come back with the solution, right?
Plants attacked, water facilities wiped out, and we have seen not one or two but multiple nuclear and radiological sites being struck by missile systems.
And this is just the beginning phases, right? Just the beginning phases. The all-out nuclear war, unless the chip become mandatory, we're not gonna see it, right? Unless the chip become mandatory, hey, we're not gonna see Yahushua coming, cracking the clouds and coming either, right? Remember, Yahushua is making his return, you know, in the height of World War III, in the last stages of World War III. Then is when Yahushua is going to make his return to deliver his elect from the four corners of the earth. Those that were chosen to receive mercy from birth, before the war even began. So everything that you see now leading up to the, right?
Most notably, we have nuclear sites possibly releasing contaminated radiation into the environment. Even if it isn't discussed openly, we have countries like Qatar, Bahrain, United Arab Emirates. They are all warning their citizens not to go outside of their houses. Now, within hours of...
Our next thing too, they're talking about lockdowns, energy lockdowns, energy rationing. But hey, let me continue listening. We can get to the part just now.
These events taking place, Iran started launching large-scale missile barrages over into central Israel, including deep into Tel Aviv. Hundreds of missiles have been fired so far, some of them striking populated areas, despite the fact that Israel has some pretty well-known defensive capabilities there. Now, this escalation that we are seeing is colliding with a greater energy crisis. When the International Energy Agency first put out their blueprint for Lockdown 2.0, in which they told people to plan to start working from home, share rides if you have to go to the store, don't go out more than necessary, be aware of local geopolitical threats. They started telling them to give up yours so that truckers could have their fuel to get the goods into the stores. I at first thought that this was some sort of modern day conspiracy. Unfortunately, it's becoming fact before our eyes. Iran also expanded the fight into other countries. We have missiles and drones that have flown into Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Kuwait. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, they just warned every American citizen and soldier that no matter where you are, you're a potential target. Now, colliding with this, we see Qatar already losing significant portions of the liquid natural gas export capacity. This has, of course, triggered a full stop from multiple countries. They're not shipping any more fuel. And now you might think for a moment that we're in the United States of America. This doesn't really matter to me. Then why are your fuel prices up? Folks, I'm paying $5.30 for every gallon of diesel for my vehicle. $5.30 is going to be the low in just a couple of weeks, according to some of the experts. Now, we see oil is expected to hit a minimum of $160 per barrel. Pete Hegseth, J.D. Vance, they have both spoken openly. This is the Vice President of our country and the Department of War. They have both spoken openly in the last 48 to 72 hours that the United States of America hopes to be done with this in around a year or two. Now, this goes far beyond the diplomatic relations that are being discussed on mainstream media, in which they say over soon. Just a couple of weeks of higher gas prices. No, unfortunately, we're in it for the long haul here. The actions that are being taken by both the American...
In it for the long haul, right? Because hey, the plan is to collapse the world economy and put the whole world in chaos, right? Put the whole world in chaos. You know, remember this man, the scripture says in Revelation 6, you know, that he saw another horse that was red, and power was given unto him to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another with the sword. And the red horse is talking about, well, you Edomites, right? You Edomites. So they're taking peace from the earth.
Military, the Israeli military, and the Iranians all point to the way other side of this dilemma. This is the start of something much, much larger. Over in Qatar, they have effectively cut off gas to 4 major economies, including Italy, Belgium, South Korea, and most notably China. They say that this is going to be down for up to 5 years. Missiles hit in mid-March, knocking out 2 major export trains. This removed about 17% of that country's total capacity. Repairs are expected to take a minimum of 3 years to get back online. The problem is that these supply chains gave energy to major utilities and industries, not just across the Middle East, but into Asia and Europe. This means that this impact is starting to hit manufacturing, people's heating of their homes, and global supply chains directly and indirectly.
Yeah. And this doesn't cause a food shortage, this doesn't cause riots, and this doesn't cause uproar of the people, you know, and invading one another. The lack of bread, the lack of food. A lot of people get so accustomed to this westernized system that without a gas stove they can't cook. You know, they can't eat without going to the supermarket or the Chinese. So a lot of them can feel the pressure. Hey, Isaiah 4:1 about to take place. A lot of these proud, arrogant women, they can be humble with what is about to take place upon the face of the earth. And it's going to get where this fella is breaking down is not even a piece of the iceberg. The scripture says in Daniel, I think is in Daniel 12:12, that Michael the archangel will have to stand up, you know, for the elect. And this is how bad it's going to get.
It goes much farther than liquid natural gas. We also see the exportation of helium being crunched. LPG, so your propane. Qatar supplies about 1/3, so 33% of the world's entire usage of helium. Now, shortages in that realm are already driving up prices, and we see the threats for both medical use and semiconductor production. Even with what we are seeing, the bottlenecks in the Strait of Hormuz, where traffic has collapsed and Iran is exerting their military control over the passage and waterway, as other Gulf states get involved in this war, this is not going to be a short-term shock to your life. This is the start of a multi-year disruption to global energy and the industrial supply chain. We also see a mounting threat to the food supply chain itself. Behind the scenes, key production centers are faltering. Have you seen the warehouses on fire inside of America? What about the world or the country's largest egg plants? Well, we see trade routes tightening and the foundation of modern agriculture is starting to crack under what is seen as geopolitical pressure. Across Europe, urea production has already been cut by 3.5 million tons. This is leading to soaring energy cost and instability. At the very same time, the country of China, one of the world's largest exporters, has effectively removed almost 6 million tons from the global market. Domestic stockpiling capability and supply. These are not minute or even moderate adjustments. These are structural shocks that will ripple through the entire global supply chain. And now we have seen the next player, India. India, heavily reliant on imported liquefied natural gas to sustain its own fertilizer output. It's now scaling back production as supply chains come under constraint. This is a very dangerous shift from where we stand. You see isolated regional issues that are becoming domino effect, cascading global contractions. Now, the consequences that follow this are unpredictable. Fertilizer, I don't know if you've ever grown anything on a larger scale than just a small backyard, environment. Fertilizer is not optional in modern agriculture.
And this is true. Fertilizer in modern culture is not optional, because wherever you start due to the seeds, guess what? It don't grow without fertilizer. Without fertilizer, these seeds that circulate, that you go and buy, plant, it don't grow. So without fertilizer, guess what it's famine, because the stuff will not grow. A bit. Yeah, so without fertilizer,
to the way other side of this,
these seeds, they wouldn't grow. A lot of hydroponics farming and what's not, especially in Guyana. These people use fertilizer to grow everything, so that the crop could heal. So hey, famine is coming. Race war is coming. Invasion of one another is coming. Bad times is coming to this earth. So hey, keep, your brothers keep praying, and asking how about Hashem Yahushai for mercy, and giving you the strength and the courage to withstand the wiles of the devil, the wiles of Esau Edom, right? So with that, just want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rekah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to you, brothers, as Pushing's word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. Until next time. Shalom. Shalom.